to sailing fishing, which I learnt when I worked for a fishing tackle company a few years ago, and it's all the gear, no idea. And I think modern day fishing, we've become a bit guilty of that. A lot of us have. We feel that we need absolutely everything to enjoy a day's fishing. We need 10 kilo of our favourite bait, and it's our favourite bait because, you know, our favourite fishing celebrity uses it. Or we have to have the latest bite alarms and bed chairs, bivvies and all this kind of stuff, and you know, this specimen hunting angle of fishing now, where whatever you catch, it's got to be the biggest, it's got to be the best. You know, people that aren't interested in a carp unless probably over £20 now. I've seen people catch like £15 carp and just be nonplussed by it. And it's crazy to me, absolutely crazy. Same with tench. I see people catch £5-6 tench and they just go, yeah, it's a tench. And you're like, oh. And I was guilty of falling into that as well. I used to go fishing, set the rods up, bait up, put some boilies, plastic bait, whatever else, out over top of them, and wait for the tench and the carp and this, that and the other. And to be perfectly honest, it bored me to tears. Absolutely bored me senseless. And I think that's where I fell out of love with fishing. So last year and the year before, I started fishing again more as you did when you were a kid. And I've really enjoyed it so far, really enjoyed it. Float rods, feeder rods, you know, a few quids worth of bait, stuff out the kitchen cupboard, sweet corn, hot dogs, you know, meatballs on the river for the barbel, lunch meat, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's much better to do that than go out and spend £50 on boilies and other things that you just don't need to enjoy fishing. Then at the end of the day, why do we fish? We fish because it's enjoyment, because it's a hobby, because it's pleasure. We don't fish to eat anymore in this country. You know, so we're not going out to fill the freezer up for the winter because our lives depend on it. We're not even going fishing for, you know, luxuries like, you know, a big salmon and this, that and the other. You know, it's a catch and release hobby for 99.9% of us. Why spend an absolute fortune on gear and bait to sit outside and not catch fish when you can spend a couple of quid and a couple of hours and you can fish and have fun? No brainer to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the people who specimen hunt, I'm not knocking the people who go after the carp and, you know, they want PBs and this, that and the other. If they enjoy that, then crack on. If you're getting enjoyment out of that, then crack on and do it. But if you're one of those people like I was, that was sitting there trying to catch a £20 carp because your mates are catching £20 carp, or trying to catch a £10 tench because your mates are catching a £10 tench, and basically being bored, then don't do it. Specimen hunting is not for you. There's no shame in that. No shame whatsoever. We all fish for different reasons. All over the world, we all fish differently. Match fishing in this country. Catch lots of fish, put them in a net, weigh them at the end. If that's your bag, then do it. Pike predator fishing, walking around with a lure rod, casting it out, trying to deceive Mr. Pike. If that's your bag, crack on and do it. So hopefully, we should all start thinking about fishing a little bit differently.